unexpectedly fall, or you are getting too cold or whatever, it's like a panic button before you pass out. You can drink, you can heal yourself, or maybe you can cool yourself down if you're in Caldera, or maybe use Pandora's box just before you die. Then I usually have one rope in my inventory so I can help my team. And I don't know, the third thing might be food. But you definitely want like a balance of a food reserve. For food reserve, scout cookies are really good. I've got a mod here that shows you how much it uses. This is like, so these cooked scout cookies are 20% hunger, and you can use them 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the kiln, I definitely. So you wanna have a reserve food, maybe like Pandora's box or scout cookie, and then while you're climbing, usually you can find food like in jungle, food's abundant. Shore should also be abundant. In Alpines, there's a lot of food, but like the last half of the climb, you probably won't find much. So there you need a reserve. Caldera should be no problem. And kiln, again, in kiln you want to make sure to have maybe for 4 team members, you want maybe two scout cookies or something similar, and you'll make it up. So panic button, you gotta balance food and utility, and I like carrying maybe like as much rope spools as possible. If you play above Ascent 5, the nights are cold, or at Ascent 5, and you will need a lantern too for the first 3 levels. You need a lantern. In tropics you can sometimes find scorched berries. I think these are 30% heat, but I recommend either huddling with teammates or really making sure you always got a lantern. So you gotta kind of balance like food, heat, and utility. And I'll put the tier list up again and talk about it a little bit. So generally kind of want to avoid heavy items. That's why the med pack is ranked lower than, let's say, the Nabberry or the blow dart, because they're lighter. Well, they're lighter, they do multiple things. These 2 items, for instance, Nabberry and blow dart, you set all of your statuses except the weight and curse. Cure is heavy, but it's super consistent, super good. Pandora's box is a little inconsistent, but it's useful as a panic button or to prevent starving. It's got 3 uses, so if you get a really bad roll of like minus health, you can usually use it again and it'll be fine. A lot of the items up here are so high, like energy drink and lollipop, because they combine with rope. For instance, the bugle, it's got 10 uses that are kind of like 10 energy drinks if you use it with a friend, because it completely resets the stamina bar. The scout effigy is good because it's the only item that can revive in Ascent 7. And yeah, you kind of have to balance food, utility, and healing. And yeah, that's about it. Most of the items in C and D, they're just like, I won't, if my backpack's full, I won't carry them. I'll just use them. Like, I'll use them for extra food as soon as possible. And don't carry coconuts. They're way too heavy. Or at least avoid carrying too many of them. Right. That was my guide. I'm sure I could have showed off more items. I guess they'll have to wait. Like turning around, jumping. and judging distances easier. I also don't recommend putting your normal field of view high, because I think it's easier to see things in the distance if it's low. So I'll put this to 0, and now you see the difference. Oh, it's like I never left the ground. Now, for mods, I have some mods installed, and I'll go over them. So a very important one, I think this should be in the base game. This disables space climbing. So in the vanilla, you can start climbing when you press space while you're airborne next to a wall. What this often does, sadly, is if you're like running up a slope and then jumping, you might stick to the wall without wanting to. It's also a big problem. I've met some new players who only knew how to climb with space and they didn't know how to climb with left click, and that really made it impossible for some of them to jump from vines or chains to a wall and then grab the wall, and it's just very painful to look at. I would disable this. I've never regretted this. I've not regretted installing it more than disabling it. This is change your sash color of the button. I just like this to make some cool outfits. I guess only use it if you unlocked Ascent 7, or someone might confuse you, or it would take away the challenge, the accomplishment. For hosting, you should probably use Pika and anti-cheat. Pika anti-cheat. This is deprecated. To find this mod, you would have to search. You would have to search and click on filter here and select that you want to show deprecated mods, because this is a mod that's currently not in development anymore, so it's marked as deprecated. Mod config, I can show you what that does. Mod config, you go to settings, you get mod settings. It lets you change your mod configurations. Like maybe you have what is this? Item stats. Okay, yeah. So your different mods can be configured here. Peak stats. This one shows you multiple stamina bars of your teammates. So your teammates' stamina bars. Some could argue this is like cheating. I think it's a nice quality of life. This one shows you items of your teammates. Not really necessary, honestly, but it's nicer than asking them every 3 minutes when you forget what items they're holding. Stamina stats shows you the percentage of your stamina bar. Like here it shows me, oh, I've got 15% hunger. Combined with the other mod, it shows me what stats and items have. You see, oh, my cures 20% hunger, so now might be a good time to use it if I want to waste it, I guess. But this would be minus 50, so maybe that would have beaten this orange. Another mod I use is item stats. Again, that shows me how many items. That's basically it. I've got some other mods here only for showcasing, setting up scenarios and whatnot. Are there any other settings? So these were my settings. Yes. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. I didn't explain all of the items to climb, but you'll learn those. Chain launches are for like traversal and for beans. For beans, you usually want to put them like on a wall like this where you want to climb, so that, well, usually it's supposed to go down, that you can get there.